Stockholm.
It's a beautiful day.
Another beautiful day.
Beautiful Stockholm day.
Promenader på Söder. Livet på Östermalm.
Here we are, finally in Stockholm, birthplace of my father.
Boy, I can't wait to look around. I've heard about Gamla Stan, where the king's other castle is, and Drottningholm Palace. I want to check it all out.
There's a lot to take in here. I'm from a very small town, so cities are always a little bit overwhelming to me, but this one is really beautiful. The water, the trees, like there's green spaces everywhere. The buildings are beautiful, so I'm really enjoying it.
There it is.
What are the odds?
Hey, the comfort. Okay.
Yeah, let's open it.
Let's open it.
What do we have here? Here you go, sir.
All right, what do we got? Dear Americans, welcome to Stockholm, the capital of Sweden, often referred to as the Venice of the North, the world's smallest big city, or the world's biggest small town. That's so fun. As you can see, you are surrounded by water. And that's because this city is built on a series of islands. You are currently on the eastern island, Östermalm, known for its somewhat posh and upscale charm. I can see that.
Very posh.
While strolling around the streets in Stockholm, you might find yourself bumping into some of the celebrities who live here. Perhaps a member of Stockholm's acting dynasty, the Skarsgård family. Robin, or even Daniel Ek, the founder of Spotify. Oh yeah, I forgot it was a Swedish company. However, if you do spot a familiar face, don't acknowledge them. Stockholm is known for being a place where even Beyoncé and Zlatan Ibrahimovic can go out to dinner without being disturbed.
If I saw Robin while I was here, I would scream. She would be like, "You're American. We don't do that in Sweden." But I'd be like, "Get over here, we're taking a photo." Tell me to call my girlfriend.
Later this week, you will get to explore the old town of Stockholm, which was founded between the 13th and 15th centuries. But first, I'm going to teach you one of the most useful things to know as a Swede. Take a deep breath, leave all feelings of embarrassment on the dock, and jump on board the waiting boat. The coffer contains a life vest, a photo book of Stockholm to compare then and now, the painting of Gustav Vasa's entry in Stockholm. 501 years ago, Gustav freed Stockholm and Swedes from the Danes. We missed the 500-year anniversary by 1 year.
Oh, wow.
Unbelievable. A fender, you might bump into things other than celebrities. See you soon, Anders.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Lovely. Alrighty, let's dig in.
Tea time.
I'll take the vest.
This is the painting, Gustav Vasa.
A bit like a circus painting.
We have a life vest, we have a bumper. The letter said something about leaving your embarrassments behind or whatever, something along those lines.
Alrighty,
Right.
let's get moving then.
So my interest is piqued and I'm ready to find out.
Let's go, guys. Nice day to be at sea.
Gud gjorde gröna små äpplen. Det finns inga hav och finns inga öar i så fall.
Gorgeous.
Oh, that is a nice view.
This is really lovely.
Yeah, a little choppy out here today, huh?
Look at that rock full of people.
Packed wisely.
Come out like lizards.
Look at them chilling. Yeah, they're like lizards. Yeah.
The Swedes are like, the snow has stopped. Get me to the rock.
Bet it's warm on it.
Yeah, I bet it is warm. Just don't slide off of it like a penguin.
Very pretty out here, isn't it? You know, my dad loved the water. My dad was 6 or 7 years old when he left Sweden, but I can only imagine that his grandfather took him to the beach, took him to the water, showed him his heritage, and ingrained in him the beauty of this city. My name is Craig Sundell. I am 68 years old, and I'm from Dallas, Texas. I am married. We have 4 children. They're all grown, and we've got 5 grandchildren. I got you. Oh, look at you. You did it. My career for most of my life was spent in the hotel business, and I retired only to find not liking retirement very much, and I've been managing a couple of country clubs until this trip. Welcome to my work home. Let's go on inside. My Swedish heritage comes from my father, who was born in Stockholm, and he lived there till he was about 7 or 8 years old, and then came to the United States with his grandparents. My Swedish heritage was ingrained in me when I was young. My father, though, passed away when I was 13. So that's where all of that communication stopped. The Sundell side of my name comes from my Swedish grandmother. My father's father, my grandfather, his name is not on the birth record. One of the reasons I'm here, actually, is to find out, if at all possible, who my Swedish grandfather is on my father's side. My background is Mormon, and being a Mormon, we don't drink alcohol. They love a good jigsaw puzzle.
It's true.
We also don't smoke or drink coffee or tea.
Apple and Lingdon beverage, and this one I think says pear, sparkling pear drink. So.
And we place a great deal of emphasis on families and connecting our families and better understanding our past. I think that's also been a really driving part of my desire to find out more about my Swedish ancestry.
Okay, you guys, hugs. Let's have hugs.
It's really important to me to find out about my Swedish heritage so that I can pass that along to my children and to my grandchildren. I've never felt better about a decision in my life than coming here. Opening the chest here on Gotland, knowing my family was also here, is going to be a life-changing experience for me. You know, I know very little about my grandmother. I know that she left my father with my Swedish great-grandfather and came to America alone. What was the relationship between my father and his mother? Dear Craig, welcome to southern Gotland, the home of your ancestors. You descend from a long line of clergymen, vikars, priests, and cantors who lived and preached in these parts for centuries, dating back all the way to the 1500s. The medieval church in Hotham is of special significance to your family history. In the early 1700s, an ancestor of yours, Christian Wilsbeck, worked here as a priest. He lived at the nearby rectory with his wife, Beta Hildebrand, and their 9 children. Oh, this is Christian Wilsbeck with his family. I'm happy to know that there was a priest in the family. Religion's very important to us, and the worship of God is very important. In the late 1600s, when he was a practicing priest, all Swedish citizens were ordered to belong to a Protestant Christian congregation. It was not allowed to practice any other religion. To make sure that all citizens followed the proper evangelical teachings, the church imposed yearly husförhör, house interrogations. People dreaded these tough interrogations, but they came with an upside: nationwide literacy. By the mid-1700s, 70 to 90% of the adult population was literate. Wow, an astonishing number for the time. This has been here since the 1700s. And they still hold services here today. It's amazing. This picture up here, this was in my chest. Look at that. Still here. I was just shocked to see it there, still hanging in this church. There they are. That's my family there. Those are my ancestors there. You walk into a building that is hundreds of years old, and you still see your family. It's a special moment. The church in the 1500s was an integral part of society here. And to know that my family, my ancestors, played a big part within the community, not just teaching religion, but also helping educate people and helping them move up in the world. It makes me feel proud that I have that line of ancestry. Maria Lundberg, a descendant of Christian Wilsbeck and your Farmore's Farmore, second great-grandmother, broke the family pattern of marrying men in the clergy. In 1854, she married Frederick Sundell, who came from a long line of highly distinguished craftsmen. Frederick and Maria had 6 children. Their son, Franz Sundell, your Farmore's grandmother's father, chose a different path for himself. He wanted to become a pharmacist and moved to Stockholm in 1876 to work as an apothecary's apprentice. My great-grandfather. I have a brother, an older brother that bears his resemblance. Franz later met and married Maria Frohling, a widow with a daughter from a previous marriage. In 1892, the couple welcomed their 3rd child into the world, Irma Sundell. Now it's getting very close to home. Not much is known about Irma's early life, but records show that she lived in Stockholm as an adult and worked as a sales clerk. The next paper trail she left behind was the birth of her son, your father, Kurt Henrik Sundell, in 1912. Kurt Henrik was born out of wedlock, and on his birth certificate, the letters OA are scribbled next to his name, the abbreviation for Oktang, or bastard. The lines where your Farfor's grandfather's name was supposed to be written down are left blank. In 1913, Irma packs her bags and leaves for America. Kurt Henrik is left behind in Stockholm with his grandparents, Franz and Maria. He stays in their care for the next 5 years while Irma settles down in Chicago, Illinois. World War I breaks out the year after Irma's departure. The hardships and uncertainties during the war are probably what spur Franz and Maria to follow Irma's lead. In 1918, they take their belongings and 6-year-old Kurt Henrik across the Atlantic and never look back. By that time, Irma had married a Swedish man named Eric Tor Johnson and given birth to a daughter named Irene. I never met Irene, but I met her younger brother, Raymond, who came to my father's funeral. Franz and Maria settled down in Chicago, probably to reconnect Kurt Henrik with his mother. But Irma and her husband moved away to Libertyville, north of Chicago, sometime between 1918 and 1922. According to census records, Kurt Henrik and his grandparents stay behind in Chicago. It's hard to imagine a mother leaving their child. Not once now, but twice. It was clear that my dad wasn't wanted in that family. Your father, meanwhile, forges an even stronger bond with his grandparents. He decides to keep his last name Sundell and not take his stepfather's last name, as was customary, which speaks to his devotion to Franz and Maria, whom he holds dear until his untimely death in 1968. You came here in the hopes of discovering the identity of, of your Farfar. Unfortunately, his name has been lost to history as Irma carried the secret to her grave. But perhaps it is of some comfort to learn more about the people who came before him. Hard-working, God-fearing people who survived the unimaginable so that one day you and your family could live and prosper. I figured it would be a long shot to get the name of my father's father. And while we're not going to leave Scotland with that information, I have a lot to be grateful for. I've waited a long time to take this journey, and it's been worth every step of the way. It's wonderful to see that I had family living here hundreds of years ago that were part of the community, a big part of the community, and thrived here. And later on, some decided to move to the United States. And it's a beautiful story either way. This day has been the most memorable day of my adult life.
Hey, there's Anders.
Hello! You turn up in the strangest places.
How'd you get here?
Watch your fingers. Watch your fingers.
Out of the water.
It's me.
Har de skött sig?
Mycket bra.
Mycket bra.
Thank you, Björn.
Thank you very much, Björn.
All right.
Have a good time.
Bye. Bye.
Okay, guys. It would not be nice or polite to say that Sweden is a bit diluted or watered down, but it is. Actually, yeah, there's a lot of water in and around Sweden and also at times falling down upon us. There are more than 100,000 lakes. There are 500,000 kilometers of waterways, rivers, channels, streams. The coastline, if you would straighten it out, is 48,000 kilometers long.
Wow.
There are 221,000 islands. In Sweden, we have more islands than any other country. 25,000 of them in the Stockholm archipelago, making Stockholm archipelago the largest of its kind in the world.
Wow.
I didn't know there's 25,000 islands just in the Stockholm region alone. So that's only about 24,982 more to go to see, and then we'll catch them all.
So, there's a lot of boats in Sweden because there's a lot of possibilities to have a boat, to use a boat. Swedes are actually one of the most boat-owning people on the earth. There are 1.3 million Swedes owns a boat.
Wow.
I did know that Sweden has like a lot of waterways and a lot of coastline and stuff. I did not realize that so many people participated in boating though. That was a big surprise.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah. Also in Sweden, we have the right of public access. We can walk, ride, bike, ski, and camp basically wherever we want, as long as we do not disturb, harm, or destroy. As an addition to this, we have the law of shoreline protection, which aims to keep shore areas accessible for public recreation. It's a great thing. So you have a boat, you can go basically everywhere. So far, so good. But there's a flip side. Growing up in Sweden, you know that there will come a day when you will, for the first time, be in a boat trying to dock to a pier. While everyone, the experienced boat owners, are sitting there watching you and judging you. And that's terrible for a Swede, because being a Swede is a lot about fear of making a fool of yourself. And this is the optimal moment for that. And today, you are going to feel that fear.
Oh boy.
You will have to try to dock a boat to a pier.
That sounds really tricky, but I think we can do it.
Good luck, guys.
All right.
Yeah, great day. So, here's the boat.
Yes, it is.
So, have any one of you driven a boat before? Not one? So we'll put the owner of the boat. Yes, but she won't
idea.
do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will do this in pairs. So you team up, you choose your partner, and we'll start. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Krager.
Yeah.
Let's do
You
it.
gotta do it.
Yeah.
I trust that in my life.
Yeah.
We are about to dock a boat.
There's a lot of pride here, but I have been on a few boats in my lifetime.
I mean, I live in Hawaii, so I've been on many boats.
We're gonna win it, so look out.
Craig and Tim team.
You got it.
All right, Krager, bring us home, buddy.
Show us what you got.
Craig got shit on us.
Hey, remember, don't go in too close.
Look at this.
What, are they just gonna float it? God, we're gonna be here all night.
Give it some muscle.
Starboard side and go in.
Today, Junior.
It was kind of fun to trash talk the other pairs.
Oh, it was a blast to heckle Tim and Craig, who are like the ultimate hecklers.
Oh, my man. Way to jump.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Oh, too far reverse, too far reverse.
You didn't see that.
A little Texas tornado.
Swedes have boats. Americans have cars.
Oh, I'm going the wrong way here.
Whoa.
Where are you going?
The dock's this way.
Uh-oh.
Oh no! Oh no! Don't get hard!
I think I got into the spirit. I think we were shit talking a little bit more than Swedes usually do.
Yeah.
I feel like Swedes just kind of on look.
Okay.
We were really into it.
Yeah, I feel like the Swedish thing to do would be to judge quietly on the inside, and we were definitely judging loudly.
Is this when we start laughing at them?
They're not even behind the wheel.
Look how foolish.
Yeah.
You're going the wrong way.
Everyone hold
Here it
on.
comes.
No.
You gotta turn it. Turn it. Hit the reverse. Turn it. Oh no.
Reverse.
Look at Melody go.
Oh my god.
Very good.
Melody.
That Ohio mom power right there.
All right.
All right. Can't dunk on that. All right, let's do it.
What's
Thank
the worst
you.
that could happen? If I'm dunked, I'm dunked.
If I'm dunked, I'm dunked. I would assume, I feel like I've watched people drive boats. I think it's a lever that goes back and forth to go forward or backward. I mean, how hard can it be? If I'm moist, I'm moist.
Famous last words.
He said before he ate shit.
Basically, the only thing that could go wrong is everything. You've literally never done it before.
It's like, okay, right, let's go, get on the boat.
All right, let someone flat.
Yeah.
You know they're talking shit right now, but
They absolutely are.
If this were an exercise in talking, those two would be winning right now. So,
Always.
no, Max can't do it. Watch this.
Watch this, bitch. I think doing this in front of an audience gave me strength. I think the haters fueled the fire in my blood.
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of people would compare us to, you know, Jordan and Pippen.
They are going to bump.
you're coming in fast.
Cut it.
Oh, beautiful. Look at you. I think it might be beautiful.
Well.
Okay. Okay. Oh, gosh.
We nailed it. We
I
nailed
wouldn't
it.
say we nailed it.
We nailed it.
Uh,
Look, well, I would say the hardest part was
staying humble, like, honestly.
So, congratulations, everyone. I think you're a big step closer to your real Swedish self.
Heck yeah.
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 Yeah, well, it was a bit embarrassing. That's good. Enough for today.
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. This day will go down in the record books as another great day in my great Swedish adventure. It's just a fabulous day. It's really been fun to be all in on this, and I can't wait to see what tomorrow's going to bring.
Så lunkar vi så småningom från back i buller och tumult när döden ropar granne kom ditt timglas är nu full.
Where are we going?
We're going to Stortorget.
Stortorg.
Ah, which is up ahead.
You know the way?
Up ahead.
We're about to go meet Anders at Stortorg, right here in Gamla stan, the old town in Stockholm.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Ooh, this is lovely. This feels like Assassin's Creed-y.
Yeah, totally. Don't you want to jump over that?
I absolutely do. I really like two things about the architecture in places like this. One, like, it's just super cute. And then two, I'm not gonna be doing any of this, of course, but it's all so much easier to, like, theoretically climb stuff. Look at these lamps. That lamp barely has enough room to exist. The pipes, the decorations on the walls. Like, I feel like back then, there weren't, like, modern pieces of architecture designed to help people prevent climbing stuff. It feels a little bit more like a playground.
Britta, how we doing up there?
Don't worry, Craig. It's under control.
I trust you.
I don't know if I do.
Okay, when we round this corner, if you see a large square,
Okay.
I've done my job.
All right.
So what's around the corner?
Yay!
Good job, Britta.
Look at this large square.
That is one large
I must
square.
say.
So, welcome, my friend, to Stortorget, the big square of the old town, most known for the dreadful events that took place here in November 1520, when the evil Danish king conquered Stockholm. But first, a little story about the square. It's, of course, the oldest square in Stockholm. In the 13th century, it was a marketplace. The two houses there, the orange kind of and the red one, are the most photographed in the square. They're beautiful. The one to the right is built 1520, so it might have witnessed those dreadful events. So, 1520, Sweden is in a union together with Denmark and Norway. The Swedish nobility wants out, so there's fighting and war. And then the Danish king, he invites all his enemies to throw a reconciliation party in Stockholm, and the Swedish nobility accept. And somewhere here might be the origin of why Swedes are said to be naive. So they arrive here, and the Danish king is having a party for 3 days, but then the gates of the city closes, there's a trial, and the next day the killing starts.
Wow.
So first, the nobility and the bishops lose their heads, and then they hang all the assistants and helpers. 94 people-ish lose their life right there and then. When Christian, the Danish king, finally calls it a day, he leaves Sweden, staging more bloodbaths on his way back to Denmark, and thereby making sure that he's forever nicknamed Christian the Tyrant.
I didn't know anything about the bloodbath. That was a complete surprise. This is not the first time in Sweden where I've been in this like beautiful place and just like, oh, this is so lovely, and find out that horrible things happened there. It's very jarring.
3 years later, the son of one of them who got killed here, he comes with an army from in the region of Dalarna, and he conquers Stockholm, chases away the Danes forever. And that's the start of Sweden as a nation, you can say.
Anders told us a pretty brutal story of murder and deception. It's kind of shocking to like stand in a place and be like, that went down here. These cobblestones ran with blood. It's the sort of thing you mostly just see on movies. Hold on, I have to remember my age. I am Britta Lundin. I am 39 years old, and I live in Los Angeles with my wife and our 2 sons. Nothing to see here. Just some laundry. What is it? I think other people describe me as beautiful, hilarious, one of the greatest people they've ever met, really. Full of personality in life. What is this, a dating profile? Jesus, I'm already married. I work as a television writer. That's the show I work on. Will Trent in Hollywood. From my office, you can see the Hollywood sign. I love my job. I worked very hard to get this job. I love that I get to go to work every day and be creative. There's the kids from Riverdale. Riverdale was a show I worked on. I was a writer on it for the first 3 seasons. A fan in Sweden had noticed my name in the credits, and she said, "Your name sounds Swedish. Are you Swedish?" And I said, "Yeah, by heritage, but I've never been there." And she said, "You should go on Alpersferie." I bought some cookbooks, Scandinavian comfort food, and Scandinavian baking. Yeah, I'm Swedish on both my mom's side and my dad's side, but we don't have many Swedish traditions, and we don't speak the language, and we don't know any of our Swedish family members.
Have you forgiven him? Har du förlåtit honom?
Yes. So one of the reasons I wanted to come on this show was because I want being Swedish to be something that we do as a family and not just something that we are. Like, I have been Swedish my whole life, but it hasn't been something I was actively participating in or seeing as something that I did. And now that I have these children, I want being Swedish to be something we do. You know, we make these kinds of cookies at Christmas time. We say these words in Swedish in our family.
He's using his tandborste with some tandkräm.
And importantly, like, here is our Swedish family, and I want you to meet them. You know, I'm a storyteller, so I would love to know, what was their life like here? Why did they have to leave? What did it feel like to leave everyone you know and come to a new country? I don't need my ancestors to have been perfect people or anything like that. I'm happy. It's fine with me if they're liars and thieves. And that's why they came to America. Dear Britta, you've probably noticed that Sweden is filled to the brim with red-painted houses and cottages. For centuries, red paint was an exclusive luxury reserved for Swedish royalty and nobility. By the 1800s, the trend had spread to the peasantry. This red house that proudly stands here on the outskirts of Gävle is where Alma Eriksson, your farfar's mor, grandfather's mother, was born, just like her father.
That's an old house, man. And people are still living there. That is history standing there.
It's called Erik Ers, after Erik Ersson, Alma's farfar, and tells the story of your ancestors on your father's side. A story of life and death, love and betrayal, and success and scandals. I think that sounds like a good story. I think that sounds like a movie. Alma was born in 1876 into a wealthy family.
Alma Erika Eriksson.
Wealth did not, however, spare the family from the many diseases that haunted the Swedish population at the time. Alma's sister, Ellen, died as a result of an inflammation in the chest, just 1 year old.
Well, I have a 1-year-old, so it makes me think of my son, Powell, who I miss very much and who is healthy. And if he had an inflammation of the chest, I feel confident that we could get him medical treatment. So, another sister, Anna, lost her battle to diphtheria at the age of 8. The bacterial disease killed thousands of children every year until national vaccination programs were launched in the 1950s. It's brutal. Unlike two of her sisters, Alma lived to see adulthood. In October 1896, at the age of 20, she married Josef Theodor Forsloff. Alma was 6 months pregnant at the time. Scandal. The pregnancy most likely rushed them into marriage. The young couple moved into Gävle, a vibrant industrial town at the time, known for its high-quality textiles and tobacco production. When Alma and Josef moved into bustling tobacco and textiles Gävle, this is where they lived. Wow. It's red, just like home. Well, so she was 20, and she got pregnant by Josef, and she got married and moved to town. That sounds like something a 20-year-old would do. Get me out of this place. I don't care about the flowers and the horses. We're going to town, honey.
In January 1897,
Alma gave birth to a daughter who was given the name Asta. 3 more children soon followed, Eric, Marta, and Ingrid. In 1905, Alma and Josef filed for a bohilnad, a separation of property. It was a rare opportunity for women to protect themselves against their husbands' debts and mismanagement of funds. That same year, Alma's father signed over Eric heirs to Alma's 3 siblings. It is likely that Alma instead received money and wanted to protect her family money from her husband, who seemed to have struggled financially as he later in life died knee-deep in debt. There's many times in history where a woman is strapped to her husband's debts, no matter what. And yeah, I don't know what the town thought of this, but I think it must have been pretty brave. In the spring of 1913, Alma abandoned her husband and 4 children and left town, seemingly out of nowhere. The decision caused quite the scandal in Gävle and made headlines in the local newspaper, as it was considered outrageous for a woman to leave her family. For some, it was unheard of. It's a fair assumption that the family was humiliated and that the community took great pity on Alma's abandoned children and husband. So where did Alma go? There are, in fact, no paper trails of Alma's whereabouts until she appears in America together with a 38-year-old married man named Carl Victor Lundin, a previous neighbor in Gävle who had left town around the same time as Alma. Alma. A married woman ran away with the married man next door to America, and she just left her kids behind. Wow. Yeah, she's not afraid to take risks. From the looks of it, Alma and Carl Victor had a love affair while they were neighbors in Gävle. That's what it looks like. Wow. But here's where the story gets a bit tricky. According to passenger lists, the name of the woman who accompanies Carl Victor on the steamship bound for New York is Sina Olsen, his wife. However, the real Sina is not on board the ship. She had decided to stay in Sweden. It sure looks like your great-grandmother travels to America under a fake name, posing as Carl Victor's wife. And 9 months later, Alma gives birth to Clarence Lundin, your Farfar, in Alameda, California. Alma and Carl Victor later relocate to San Francisco with their newborn son. I never got to meet Clarence because he died before I was born. But this is where the story starts turning into people who I know of. Alma and Carl Victor continued to act as a married couple, but they were in fact never legally married. Alma remains married to Josef, although they never see each other again. Sina, on the other hand, files for a divorce 2 years after Carl Victor leaves Sweden. In the years to come, Alma's 4 children in Gävle also moved to California. It appears that all of them reconnect with their estranged mother. That's the best part. That's the best part, because the hardest part of this story is that Alma left them. And they all come to California and reconnect with her. Alma lives to be 93 years old. She lives to see the birth of her 7 grandchildren, including Frederick Lundin, your father. That's crazy. That's not even ancient history, you know? Like, my dad knew her. Alma does, however, die without ever seeing her family home again. She never got to smell the fresh coat of red paint that once upon a time signaled wealth, but today serves as a symbol of Sweden itself, the place of your very own origin story. I said Alma was brave and inspiring and grabbed life by the horns and did whatever it takes. And then once she got to California, she did miss this place. You know, she's still human and she's sensitive. And I'm sure there were times when it was scary, and I'm sure there were times when she wished she had taken another path. Honestly, I feel a little overwhelmed. I feel like I saw and learned a lot today, and I think it's gonna take me a long time to understand
it all. This story is such a good story, and it feels like a unique story to our family. It's not the same story from, like, the immigrants, you know, of, like, digging rocks and going to America because you're poor. This is a story of running away from your husband and your wife. I am a screenwriter. I'm a storyteller by trade. I love a good story, and that's exactly what this is.
I've never seen a street where it's just all like little tourist shops. That's so fun.
I am so excited to actually get to see the inside of one of these. Is this it? Well, I hope so.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Come in. I like the little Vikings. They're so cute. I'll put it on. The braids will
Do
look
it.
great on you.
Oh, yeah. It fits a perfect fit.
Are they me?
So cute.
Yeah.
Does it scream Craig?
How many people have worn that helmet?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
You have lice now.
Yeah, right.
Do y'all want to go in there? The Pippi?
Here?
Come on, Craig.
Okay, I'm coming.
Sheesh.
Where do you need to
Right
stop?
behind you guys.
What do you guys think?
Yeah. Right?
Nicole would be mad. I don't think Nicole is Swedish.
No.
Guys, should we do tattoos?
Oh, I'm down.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Let's get one.
If you take a look at this, and you can see that there are basically no straight lines.
Oh, I see it here.
And that's because this whole part of this building was not here from the beginning. This was an alley.
Oh.
And it was built on later.
Like right here?
Yeah.
Wow.
Is this gonna hurt? It burns, it burns, it burns. How much longer? All right.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Craftsmanship. I know.
She is a pro.
Your dress nice for this.
All right, hello. Hi.
Hi.
I was worried.
Sorry.
What kept you?
Well, I got a tattoo to show you.
Yeah, but check out this.
Look at that bad boy.
Classy, I
Pippi
know.
Longstockings. That's great. Do you know where we are right now? The name of this?
No.
No?
No.
This place is called Norrmalmstorg. Rings a bell?
Yeah, Norrmalmstorg.
Yeah?
Yes. The square.
Right, it's a square. But you've heard of Stockholm Syndrome? You have? Yeah. And right there is the bank where it all happened. At the corner. Yeah.
I remember reading the Wikipedia article about Stockholm Syndrome because one time I was like, I just want to know, what is this? So when Anders pointed to the corner, I was like, oh shit, we are here. All right, Papa Anders is going to tell us the story.
It was in August 1973. Robber Jan Olsson went into the bank to rob the bank, fired his gun in the roof and said, the party's just begun. And from there, everything went wrong for him. The police arrived faster than he could imagine. And instead of giving up, he took hostages and escaped into the vault. And he threatened to kill his hostages and demanded that his friend from the prison, Sweden's at the time most infamous criminal, Clark Olofsson, should be brought from prison to join him in the vault. And the police and the Prime Minister, he was on the case right away. They agreed that that was a good idea. Maybe this Clark Olofsson could ease up the situation. But things didn't go exactly like the police hoped. What Clark, the newcomer, did, we don't know really. Nothing happened. So then there was a telephone line established between the vault and the Prime Minister. He was trying to negotiate himself with the bank robber, but also spoke to the hostages. And then it showed that the hostages had chosen side with the kidnappers because they were more afraid of the police, what they would do, than they were afraid of the bank robbers, kidnappers.
Thinking about it, like if I was one of the hostages, it's a little tough to say how you would react. I think from the outside looking in, you're thinking, oh my gosh, I would be panicked. I would just want the police to get me out. But clearly there had to be something more that was going on the inside for all of the hostages to side with the criminal.
After 5 days, the police put tear gas into the vault and the bank robbers gave up. Nobody was physically harmed. And what made this whole situation world famous is that also afterwards, the hostages took side for the bank robbers. And also, Clark Olofsson, he kept seeing one of the hostages several times afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's the place, and that's the Stockholm Syndrome.
Wow.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
But 5 days.
5 days.
In a vault.
Yeah. Yeah, it raises a lot of questions.
Yeah.
So the demands from the robbers were a bulletproof vest, they were the helmets, and 3 million crowns, I think it was, and an escape car. A Ford Mustang, actually. I think they also wanted a special color. I'm not sure about that, but they wanted a Ford Mustang.
Yeah, of course. So do I.
And I think the deal that hostages, 1 or 2 or 3 of them, to go on that ride.
Yeah. If I was trapped in a vault for 5 days with a charming bank robber, well, I tell you this, I'm not going to fall in love with him. But if he was like, hey, Britta, you want to hop in my Ford Mustang after this? Depending on how my life was going, I'd be like, all right, let's do it.
Slow your Mustang down.
Vid den jäckande regnbågens slut vilar en kista med guld. Väl förbi den sovande draken som väntar en skimrande skatt. Och har du bara fått lösenordet rätt så öppnar sig porten till rövarnas grotta och glittret som lockar där inne. Men det ska då ändå alltid vara hinder i vägen innan man når den eftertraktade belöningen, pokalen, priset eller bytet om det är en bank som man ska råna. Hinder som måste passeras för den som vill ta sig hela vägen. Det gäller även för våra amerikaner när det nu har blivit dags för utslagstävling där 8 ska bli 7. Deltagarna ska ta sig genom ett fiktivt bankvalv och där ta med sig samtliga värdesaker utan att nudda laserstrålarna av garn. Varje nuddad laserstråle utlöser ett larm som i sin tur ger 10 sekunders tidstillägg. Den amerikan som utför bankkuppen på längst tid måste lämna allt för Sverige.
I have a very competitive side in me. I come across very relaxed, but I'd love to be first in this competition today.
I've tried really hard not to think about how it'll feel if I'm the one to leave because I just really, really want to make it through this challenge and get to experience the next round of Sweden.
So, we are halfway and the family reunion is getting closer. But first, there will be another challenge where the one that loses will have to leave. Good luck to you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Feel pretty good about this competition?
Ready?
I wouldn't say I'm flexible, but I've done like laser tag where I'm like stepping around lasers and such, and I was never too terrible at that.
You ready?
Yeah. When I realized it was an agility challenge, my stomach just dropped. And I was like, oh no. Oh no.
Klara, färdiga, gå.
Oh, right out of the gate.
I think the hardest part, like, it seems pretty obvious, but it's just not touching the fucking strings.
It's definitely harder than I thought it would be. I was really just trying to channel my inner spy, my inner bank theft thief.
if you tried, you could not make a challenge less suited to my particular set of skills. So I am working to embody the spirit of a panther. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Okay.
Tanya, outlet.
Shit.
Dum 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 dum
Damn it.
Oh, fuck! Fuck.
Today was a very special competition. We have 2 contestants that ended up on exactly the same time.
What the fuck? Great. Sweet Jesus.
So that means we have to do a rematch.
No.
Oh my God.
And the ones who have to compete again is Julie and Britta. Okay, let's get ready.
I'm going to use a little different strategy this time. I'm going to move slower and try to touch fewer times. See if that gets me there.
Okay, are you ready?
Ready. And at the same time, like, I'm realizing, like, me and Britta are saying goodbye either way. That sucks.
Klara, färdiga, gå.
I'm just trying not to think about the fact that if I win, Julie has to go home. And I'm just trying to not freak out.
1 hit.
And I'm trying to focus on engaging my core. Because I'm gonna need it.
Smart. Good.
And I really don't want to go home.
Ah, she got it.
Oh, no, she just hit it again.
Yeah. This sucks. This really sucks. How the fuck do I get out? I can't get through there. I gotta go the other way.
Come on. Go.
Ooh, come on.
Go.
Make your move.
Yes, be careful. Be careful. Don't lose it now.
She's got it. She's got to go for it.
She's go for it.
Okay.
Get your stuff.
Get your stuff. Get up. Go.
So, Julie, Britta, it stands between the 2 of you. One of you will have to leave today. I'm sorry, Britta. It's you.
I would say I screwed that up pretty bad. Yeah.
I do get to stay in Sweden another week. It's a little hard to be like happy about it right now. There's definitely some relief. I'm gonna miss Britta so much. She's a good friend. She's one of our comedic relief. Always has something a little bit sassy to say, and it's not gonna be the same without her, for sure.
Knowing Britta has to leave, I'm just kind of pissed, and I'm gonna miss Britta a lot. I'm close with everybody. Everybody that I've met here are some of the nicest people that I've ever met. Like, genuinely, I really, really love everybody on this crew.
Got him.
Hi guys, we're gonna. I am devastated to be going home, but I am trying to remember all the wonderful things that I've done here and be grateful for that.
So, Britta, it's been great. Really, absolutely. I'm gonna miss you so much.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss you.
So, have a safe trip and hope to see you soon.
Okay, thank
Hey.
you. Hey, Do. Yeah, this ended before I was ready for it to end. But I also know that me going home means Julie gets to carry on. And I know that this trip is important to her too. So I hope she goes all the way. I don't know how many times I've said to myself, this looks like home, because on some level, this is where my family is from. And this is where our blood was forged. Maybe there's something here that's calling to me. And it's not so long ago that they left, just a couple generations back. And yet I knew nothing about this place until very recently. And I'm heartbroken that we're not gonna get our family reunion at the end of this. Yeah, it sucks to be going home. But it's not like Sweden's going anywhere, right? I can come back. And I will come back.
Welcome to Hugo Kusten.
We're on top of the world.
Boston Gurken.
I love canoeing. I got my canoeing merit badge as a Boy Scout.
We're going the wrong way!
Whoa.
By 1854, Sophie had lost 7 of her 11 children. Such a tremendous amount of, like, loss.
Yeah, you can touch and feel the antlers, how warm they are.
Oh, yeah, there it goes.
Oh.